My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
Right, and look at another striking matter, Galamsey. Over the weekend, we all know what happened. Apology statements were made, apologies were rendered. At the back of that, look, I thought the whole situation has come to an end. But I was shocked when I saw that video. The moderator of I think the Presby Church or something, saying all manner of things that they were not afraid and all those things. It raises the question. And this morning I was making the argument that I thought the apologies would have ended it, but you jumping in raises a different dimension to the discussion. And it raises question about the church and politics, the church versus the state. In this way, the church versus the state in the fight against corruption. Who holds what? Doug.
Interesting. I wish you had if you had a clip of the original video of where Dr. Awusi, the lady who spoke. Personally, I don't know, from an open, I didn't say anything wrong with the statement. That look, you are an elder statesman or an elder of a church. Be careful about how you double in matters that would. That's the way I see it. Okay? Eventually, as usual, they use the usual NDC, NPP, muddle the whole thing. At a point, it was like, if you saw some of the headings, it was like you are warned. Never speak. I said, no. I had to take myself. Okay, fair enough. Okay, of course, if they say that's okay. But I saw it as a caution. In any case, once she eventually even rendered an apology, that should have ended the matter. But somehow, like you said, this reverend was also speaking yesterday or so, and I said, but where is this also come? This how you elderly statesmen would speak and
is
invite?
It that the clergy, some of the clergy, and that's the perception I have, that they feel they are demigods. I'm not referring to him, but in general, some of the clergy thinks that when they speak, you don't need to question them. I'm coming there. I'm coming there.
To the clergy.
I'm not saying this at the back of this statement.
My point is, there are two fundamental critical issues.
I want him to land, then I'll come to you.
So, as a matter of me, I disagree with any notion that clergymen or religions should not speak about politics. It's just that how you speak about it and put the nation first for me should be my priority. Okay? For example, if you take Saudi, they say Imam should not speak about politics. I disagree. Religion is a whole way of life. Okay? So to the extent possible that we have issues of unemployment, we have issues of poverty, we have issues of underdevelopment, so on and so forth, why should clergymen not participate in that discussion? They should. But maybe how you discuss it is what matters. And then also,
especially also when you are perceived to be wearing some colors, right?
So that's the point of that, where you are selective in your utterances. And that's the challenge we have in this country. That sometimes when some governments are in office, some people are loud, they speak out. When others come, they don't speak. So when you have such situations, definitely it's a problem. I think that's even one of the elements of GBA today. Okay? So I would wish that, look, if religious men want to speak about politics, just let them be consistent and speak about Ghana first. To the extent that you speak about the ills of Galamsey, its effect on us, blah, 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 fair enough. Okay? And you choose, and you are consistent, there's no problem. But where there is selectivity and people perceive it so, then you are definitely going to have a problem. And that is why you have the situation we have currently. And I just hope that our religious men, they should participate in our national discourse on everything to the extent that they advocate and speak for the voiceless. Why not? But it shouldn't be that when it is one regime, you speak one way. When it is another regime, you speak another way. When that happens, it's going to create the kind of current problems we're having. Right. So, but for that, it ought not to be. If I didn't hear the whole tape, fine. But for me, for the portion I heard, I didn't see anything untoward about it. It's like a question of, Charlie, you are an elderly statesman. Watch how you speak, especially on very thorny issues. That is the way if there's any other portion that I didn't hear, fine, that's another matter. Okay, that is the way I see it. I didn't see any insult. I didn't see any disrespect. If the individual feels so, and the lady even goes to the extent that she was asked to apologize, and she did, that should have ended the matter. But for the partisan lens that we put on some of these things, no, they are more serious. We are talking of electricity, as we talk. But we're going to waste our time on, that's the same way they went about prices here and they're wasting our time. The same people who sit there in parliament and spoil tables, they will not even show any remorse. They are the people who will come out and be preaching morality.
PDA.
Thank you. I think that the CEO of the Free Zones Board has apologized, and even more recently, as recent as yesterday, at the Thanksgiving service held in honor of the Chief of Staff who turned 60, in the presence of the President and the one who also had been, quote-unquote, affected by the statements, the Chief of Staff himself, humble Chief of Staff, apologized and was very emotional in his apology, being a member of the church together with other leading members of the NDC, notable amongst them the former party chairman who happens to be the political advisor to the vice president. The Chief of Staff named a few of them who belong to the church, and that there's nothing that they would do to, as it were, put the name of the church and its clergy in dispute. I quite agree with what Dr. said. I've watched the tape that was purported to have generated that issue, and I think it's been blown out of proportion deliberately by the NPP to court disaffection not only for the CEO of the Free Zones Board, but the government, and they tried to make it an NPP versus an NDC matter where it didn't exist, and pitching camp with the clergy, and therefore trying to make it as though we are for you, we are your defenders, they are attacking you, and even not the Pentecost church, but they are attacking the clergy. You see, this mischief of the NPP must stop. They went and hid behind cocoa farmers who had not invited them, went and got NPP people to, led by Miracles Abaji, aid to Baumia, specially dedicated to an enterprise to bring the government into dispute. It backfired. These people, the NPP people, who have actually added the clergy with the hole that they dug, what's it called, the so-called National Cathedral. You are not ashamed to go and try and bring the clergy into matters of state again? Why do you guys do that to the Christian community? When they finish, then they go and pitch camp with the Muslim community and try to pitch camp with every sector in order to secure their so-called 2 million votes that were missing. You won't find it. Those 2 million votes will not come back. And this is not an avenue to do it. The apology has been given. I think what we need to focus right now is on Galamsey itself. Galamsey is indeed, as the Pentecost elder said, is a killer. And it must be treated as such. I've listened to some lawyer, Kwame Akufu, advocating that some third-party organization should be given the power to deploy drones to, pick the people and kill them on site. The Galamsey, yes. I think that's extreme. But if the drones were to be used to identify the people for possible arrest and prosecution, I think that would be better. These people, and Amewu, they went and told us that they had used $40 million to procure drones that they could not find after they exited. Amewu is working free. NPP, Baumia, etc. They are working free, and Galamsey is happening. The Frimpong Boateng report on Galamsey, they hid it through what's his name, Duke of Riata and the Suhum MP, who were accused of together with their other Gabi, all those people were accused of everybody was in that Galamsey report. They hid the thing. Today the report is not being brought to the fore. Those must be the issues, and I think that whether it's NDC or NPP, persons who are involved in Galamsey, and these are Ghanaians, it goes beyond party. Nobody went to inform their party apart from the NPP who said party Nyaska. and so went and tried to get Freeport Martin to allow them to do some galamsey. Nobody has gone to the NDC to tell them that the party will gain some money. So if an NDC person, whether an MP, MCE, whatever, is caught in galamsey, the person must be sacked that minute and arrested and prosecuted. And it goes to the NPP as well. We have evidence of these things. And so let us just act with dispatch. And I'm happy the Speaker of Parliament said that he will not shield anybody. But so far, the people are being shielded. They are still attending Parliament. I don't understand. For the life of me, galamsey can only be eradicated when we deal decisively with everybody who is involved. And also follow the money. When they get the galamsey money, they go and use it to buy real estate. We have been told that. And we have seen them. KGM4 is at cantonments. We need to get on Ken of Friata and others, building like nobody's business under this very administration. And that is where, if you say you are faulting the NDC for looking on for your thieves and galamseyers to be doing what they're doing, then I'll side with you. But until that time, rest your case.
Majeeb, do you see? I want to bring your mind back to what I asked earlier. The involvement of the church in politics. When you hear statements like the Church of Pentecost has over 4 million worshippers.
They want votes.
Right? When you hear people say that, how does that strike to you?
And the question
how does it look like on the
question
political
I will
scene?
also ask is that what happened? What was the cause before that statement? They didn't just sit down and just decide to tell the people of Ghana and the world that they have a little over 4 million following or church members. That is not what happened. Let us be very sincere. You ask a very important question, and the question is the role of the church in patroning government, and that has been the history of this country. The role of the church is very, very important when you go to the area of education, area of health, area of sanitation, and many, many areas. If you go to the northern part of the country, you come to the realization that under Nkrumah, you saw the role of the church, the Catholic Church, in provision of basic education, constructions of school and other things. So for a very long time in our history, the church has always partnered government, central government, by way of development in various spheres of society. Then let's get that one clear. And nobody can cow the church into submission on voicing into national issues that are critical to our development. Number one, example, before the 2024 elections, there were two fundamental issues that confronted the people of this country, and the church was very vociferous in fighting them. Number one is LGBT, and number two is galamsey. And we all know the role of the opposition. The role of the opposition, the church comments seems to further the opposition at that time, but some of us kept quiet because I'm coming. Some of us felt it's important because galamsey was a thorny issue, and the consequences of galamsey affect everybody in this country. Whether you are NDC or MP, let's put the partisan line. Come to LGBT, our cultural upbringing and our standing and our society refuse it, and we abhor it. Right. So we saw
PDA,
and you are signing. I hope it is now before the president. To sign it. No, but I hope you are doing indulge. So what called the CEO? Is it Mary Awusi or what? Doctor, with that uncalled statement. It is because the church was commenting. The church was just re-entering their voice on galamsey. On galamsey, what is still going on there? It is not different from what we saw, what was going on. So what is the government after the promise that I am going to fight against galamsey, and senior members, party activists, NDC activists are engaged in galamsey to the extent that some of the people that deployed to help us fight galamsey were being withdrawn because they attacked, they ventured into areas that were being owned by senior members of NDC. Really? I hope you get. Oh, go and find out this. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Arrest them.
Is it the Black Maria? Do you know? You heard of this Black Maria? This Black Maria group of people. This is some police they have put together. The IGPs are. Ask them what their experiences. I hope many others who attempt to fight Galamsey, I hope you are getting the argument. So if they said it then and criticized the then government, what made you think that NDC is above criticism?
Help us arrest them.
Oh my God.
PD, please.
Prince Untu, you are a gentleman, just exercise patient. But I know it's
we need to go.
It is biting him, but those are the facts. Those are the facts. But keep quiet. If it's not, keep quiet. Act as if you are not here. Be thinking of the 2 o'clock press conference.
Please learn from me. Please learn from me.
After the press conference, the energy minister will be fired by the president. I'm sure of that. I'm telling you.
That's what your aim.
But you see, my brother, you see the hypocrisy here. Now today, not even a president, not even the vice president, not even cabinet minister, CEO today threatening an elderly of the church of talking about Galamsey. And so should we keep quiet?
Is that how you say it?
But we all saw the video, all heard her. So that is it. So is he not a Ghanaian? Even if he was not the leader of a church, he's a Ghanaian like any one of us and can wade into national issues as and when he wants.
There's this school of thought that people are now bringing out that it shouldn't be that when somebody seen as being a man of God speaks, you should not be able to question.
Yeah. Nobody.
Right?
No.
Is that what we are driving at?
No, nobody is saying don't question. But at least what the man said was in context. So we should be quiet on Galamsey.
No, but you can have your say. Isn't it?
No, we sit
you
here.
can disagree with what he says and question what he had said.
Example, we are here, we are talking, we bring our ideas, arguing and agreeing and disagreeing. But we are not using words that will hurt each other here. I hope you are getting our argument. By our training, you can disagree in a very way that the person you are disagreeing with will not even feel that, oh, something has happened. By way of choosing your words. That is what we need to learn as political actors. It doesn't necessarily have to be that because your party is in government or you occupy a position, you unnecessarily have to be arrogant in response to other people. No. But that is arrogant. Did you say that? Did you say that? Did you say that? No, what the man said, you are not happy with it. But because of your level, you will respond that way.
Somebody told me that if you are into football and you get into the football arena, prepare to play football.
Okay. No problem.
No, I'm saying that somebody I've seen commentaries like that. That once you enter into the football pitch, be prepared to play football.
I corrected myself.
We need to go.
So the Galamsey and LGB. You see now LGB. You see the football we are playing. You see now. No.
Please, I need to go. Didi, I need to go. Thank you so much. Let me do one or two messages and then we are done for today. Gentlemen, your microphones are off. Please.
Tell your people to stop.
Majeeb, this is very important for me. Let me do this and then we are done. PDA, please. This is very important. Please, hold on. Kwamina Acidity Ahafo Atranso says the government is taking all necessary steps to address the power crisis, which is having a significant impact on this country. Ghanaians must exercise patience. Special greetings to Awusi Nkrumah. All right, thank you. Diana UJ Nipe writes, okay, I've seen that message. Nasir Mohammed says most of the clergy has no credibility because they belong to the NPP. During the terrible period under Nana, they saw no evil, heard no evil, and spoke no evil. It appears the church is becoming more of a problem than a solution. All right. Thank you so much for that text. On WhatsApp, one or two, and then we are done. This is from Isaac Newton, and he writes, good morning. It is sad that the NDC always work with damage control principles. I think the CEO of Gridco, who used to step aside now, was the same CEO workers of Gridco asked the president and the NDC to change, but they refused because of father for all factor. If all ministers and MMDCs can tell the truth, the undermining and other issues that are going on because of maintaining NPP appointees at the helm of affairs up to now, All right, very lengthy one. I get the text of that message. Thank you so much for that. And then this one says, good morning, Pan African TV. Tried the coup, they found no scandals. They visited some cocoa farms in their vineyards, but got nothing to talk about. The last straw is that the light must go off for the people to complain about something. Such cruelty in search of power is disheartening. Evans Ibn Samba Laura. Okay, from Kwablavi of Pokwasi, Benghazi says, Dumso will never come back. Those who want to use Dumso to destroy John Mahama's government, it will never work. The opposition is wishing bad things like Dumso to hit Ghanaians so that Ghanaians will start talking against John Mahama's government. Thank you so much, Kwablavi, for that. This one is from Sami Bwachi Asamankesi. It says, the Dumso situation has worsened under Mahama's administration, demonstrating a lack of concern and incoherent policies, and they don't want to admit that they have failed when to the solution to eradicate Dumso. The introduction of a 1 Ghana cedi fuel tax has not yielded the desired result. Sami Bwachi from Asamankesi, thank you so much. Please keep your messages short, some are too long. From Masaudu in Kumasi, Bantama, he says, the ongoing erratic power supply across the country is very much alarming. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, we want Ghanaians not to trust JDM, second coming, but they didn't listen. Today, the good people of Ghana are agitated and poised to campaign rigorously for the NPP to come back to power in order to transform Ghana's economy. All right, I think that should be enough. All right, let me do this.
I'm in the PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.